What are your thoughts on the security issue at TwitchCon? Nobody should really give a shit what my thoughts are on it, but I look at things the same way I look at policy and I look at economics and things like that. I look at them like from a broader picture, and I will never defend Twitch. But here's my take on what happened. For those of you guys, everybody here is aware of what happened, right? The incident, which is crazy because Bonnie and Emmy were coming through our back entrance that we have for TwitchCon as we were like coming out, my wife and I, and Bonnie. Like, I almost punched Bonnie. I almost fucking decked Bonnie in the face because I just hear, Stocky! And I turn around and there's this fucking, just this shape moving at me very fast. Of course, she's like that big. And she's like, hey! And she comes running and she jumps up, gives me a hug, and then he's my wife. And Emiru's coming with her. And she's like, what's up, Stocky? You know that way she always does that thing. She's like, what's up, Stocky? And I'm like, what's up, Emmy? So have you met my wife? And she goes, oh, you're married? Haha, whatever, joking. But like, we all exchange pleasantries and stuff like that. And I was like, we're heading upstairs. And Emmy's like, Emiru's like, yeah, I got to go to my meet and greet. So I was like, all right, see you later. Then like 10 minutes later, we know what happened. But basically, here's what I'll say you, okay? Here's what I'm saying. I know that most of my audience doesn't give a shit about TwitchCon, but I'm gonna put it this way just so you guys understand. So Emiru is the biggest like female streamer on the platform, right? And this is what happened to her. She's doing a meet and greet. So when we have a meet and greet, we're up here and there's a big line of people and there's other meet and greets there, right? And then there's like people that stand around. So she's here. Someone is filming her doing a meet and greet. And then all of a sudden this guy comes in, reaches in, grabs her and goes to kiss her. Then the security comes in and just fucking shoves him all the way back. He gets up and leaves. Is there a better angle here?
Amy.
The video of this security guy, which apparently is her security, not even Twitch security. Then the guy is like pushed away and led off, and then he just leaves on his own. And I'm not gonna get into, obviously the all the drama. Oh, here you go. Here's a better angle. So for those of you guys who haven't seen, here he is. He walks up. Okay. Also, he didn't pull a weapon. That's the pen that she was holding. I think he took from her, but still. Everybody has a take on this. Now, here's what I'll say about it, okay? I'm not going to get involved in all the Twitch drama, but people don't like me because they don't like the fact that I look at everything and analyze it. They just want to be told what to think. Here's my thing about this. Twitch failed this significantly. I think it's very, very clear that Twitch failed this, okay? So here you go. So this is how the meet and greet's set up, right? I'm not going to draw a full map because I don't want to like give somebody exactly all the specs of the place, but basically there's booths here and boards, and there's booths and boards, and there's people here, and then this is like, Twitch person A, B, and C, and it goes all the way, and then you've got, large crowds of people, and then you've got me with like 6 people, and so that's how it is, right? And then there's the side here where the rest of the convention is. Now, she was all the way at the end, which was probably not a good idea. Now, basically what happened is this guy was able to circumvent, cross the line, walk up to her, do that, and then pushed off, and then walked off, and actually left the convention. So, Twitch failed here because while it was unexpected that somebody would do that, when it's the largest female streamer on the platform and you know that a lot of guys online are very, very weird about that stuff, you should have more preventative for her specifically than everyone else. Some people would say, well, we want to make it fair and make it seem like we're not playing favorites. Well, when it comes to security, you kind of have to, right? There should have been more security, like people that stand up here, whatever like that, and ready to go to because nobody expected this to happen. You figured once everyone is registered, everyone's in line, you're not going to have that have it happen. They failed on this part because they should have expected that even if they didn't expect this to happen, if something like this was going to happen, it was going to happen to her of all people. Makes sense, right? So they failed on that part. But I also have to tell you guys, because nobody wants to say this part, it was a very unique situation because I'm going to be honest with you. Even if I was in that crowd, I wouldn't have responded in time, just like her security didn't, because it looked like a private security guy. I got to be honest with you. The guy was very big guy, standing there in like a plaid short sleeve t-shirt, which is like the standard fucking I'm undercover security or I'm private security look. They don't always have you in the black shirt. They want somebody that doesn't. And he walked very confidently up. The first 2 seconds of him coming in frame, I first thought he was with security to remove the guy she was talking to. The fact that he was so confidently walking in a very beeline that big, the first time I saw him on the video, I was like, what is he going to grab that guy next to her? And then 2 seconds, she was on, whatever. So I can get why people in the crowd or people responded. It took a while. Luckily, nothing more happened. So again, Twitch is completely at fault. I mean, first off, if you're going to have the biggest female streamer, don't put her on the side where the biggest gap of somebody wanting to do something is. She should be further down the line or next to where the wall is, and you should provide additional security for somebody like that. Like, for example, if the biggest fucking, if you went to a professional sporting event and the quarterback for the fucking, or the wide receiver, the running back is going to have more preventative security than maybe the fucking center or something, or the kicker. No offense. If streamers are like the professionals of the world and it's like an NFL team, like I'm like the kicker, you know what I mean? Like, I'm there, I'm on the team, and I get paid well, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still on the team, I'm still an NFL player, in that way compared to, but I'm like the fucking kicker, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, but she's like that star. So they absolutely should have been more preventative security and had expected things that, that even if they didn't expect it, because nobody expected this to happen, but they could have done a lot better of a job to prevent this from happening. But at the same time, it was such a unique situation, because if this was some dude in like a fucking, goth outfit or somebody like ooh-wooing or some shit like that, they would have got tackled before they even got to the stanchion. You know what I mean? Now, as far as her personal security and all the other shit, you guys are wanting me to get into the drama part of it. I'm not. I'm just giving you my breakdown of the actual incident and what took place in the incident, and that's my take. Now, as far as why the stock guy's talking about this, because this is similar to a Fortune 500 company making a fuck up. I told Twitch this is how they should handle it. I don't think that they're taking my advice, but if I was a corporation, this is how I would handle it. I would hire someone, and I would not have them do any work. I would have them sit at home and play games or just travel with me and do nothing. And I would give them a title, some bullshit fucking title, and they would be my fall guy. That's who you need. You need to have a fall guy. If you hire somebody for $100,000 a year and name them director of security operations, you pay them fucking $80,000, I don't know. And their job is literally to do nothing except stay out of the limelight, because you got to sell this, because the less you know about them, the more you believe they're the director of security operations. And their only job is to be the fall guy. Get them a fake LinkedIn profile, because nobody actually ever follows up, because it's just like it's Twitch, nobody's ever going to follow it up. And if you want, say he graduated from a college that people currently hate, or say he's of an ethnicity of like a country that people, like everybody in America has like a negative connotation towards, against, or whatever at the time, and just leave him there. Then when some shit pops off, that's the fall guy. Here at Twitch, we take security absolutely, insanely, serious. And this is a thing, we after consulting an internal whatever, we have decided that our director of security operations failed our company, but more importantly, our streamers and our fans. That person has been immediately terminated, all members of their team, and we will be working to address this in the future. That's what you do. You have to have a fall guy. You have to have a fall guy, because people want heads to roll. And then you immediately hire a new one and say that he is a disabled veteran and he has been working, at security at the, a director of security operations for the St. Jude's for the past 20 years. And that's your new fall guy. I'm telling you right now, that's what you do.
Enough with the children.
That's what you do. You have a fall guy, and then you have a backup. Okay? You got to do a PR thing here. This guy, our director of security operations, failed us. He's from this country, this, whatever like that. He fucked up. His team. We as a company failed you, failed the company, failed our fans, and more importantly, or failed the streamers. More importantly, failed the fans. We put too much trust in this individual and their way, and we will learn and grow from this. That person has been immediately fired. Will never work again in this industry. And we have now hired this disabled veteran who has worked the last 25 years as security of St. Jude's to take over operations. And we will now, work closely with him and his team to make sure that this never happens again. That's what you do. You hire a fall guy, you let him take the fall. And then you hire somebody, even if it's not even real, you hire somebody who is like, okay, and then ignore it. Then ignore it. Let it go away. And I'm not taking this away from what happened to Emiru. Emiru's a friend of mine. I'm not taking it away from her, but I'm talking, we're past that. Like, we know what happened, but we're separating ourselves from the corporate side. This is what you got to do. Got to have a fall guy. and then you got to have a replacement. This is corporate 101. This is a joke, right? No, this is not a joke. I am 100% fucking dead serious. Do you think this is a joking manner? Yes, I'm joking. Not entirely. I'm making a joke about this situation, but this is a real world shit that happens. This actually happens in the real corporate world, by the way. But I'm obviously making light of as much as I can of a serious situation. That guy just doesn't know how the real world actually works. Don't ruin their pure soul yet. I'm making a joke about something off the fly right now. I'm obviously just coming up with this, but this is me utilizing something that actually happens in the real world in a satirical way. Okay. As far as like everyone's individual thoughts on this and who's at fault and what should happen to it, that's not up to me. I'm just a fucking streamer, okay? And you shouldn't want my opinion on how this should be handled from a corporate, because let me tell you something. Streamers have a right to say, should have a right and a say in all of these things that happen, but you also don't want streamers to make executive corporate decisions, because let me tell you how that's going to work out too. This is something that they'll deal with, and how they deal with it is how the viewers and the streamers will react to it, and there will be consequences, whether positive or negative, from whatever actions they take, and that's how the world works. As far as like what should we do and how this should be handled from a corporate standpoint from a fucking streamer, probably not what you want. I don't care if it's me or it's a fucking XQC or it's fucking Hassan or Asmongold. Anybody who says what the corporate decision should be made should not have any fucking integrity, because you don't want a fucking streamer to be making corporate decisions. Trust me. I don't care what they do on this platform. They're not they're not the right ones for corporate decisions. They'll say what their audience wants to hear, but they're not corporate decisions, and that includes me.